distinguished guests, instructors, leaders, and students from all around the world, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Welcome to the opening ceremony of the 3rd International Mathematics Summer Camp. I'm Rick. Now let's welcome the Academic Director, Cezar Lupu, to introduce the activities of this summer camp.
Hello everyone, here we are at Beijing. We are in a great international mathematics event. It is the 3rd International Mathematics Summer Camp, IMSC 2025. So here I'm with Cezar Lupu, one of the main organizers of this event. So Cezar, can you briefly introduce yourself and tell us more about your responsibilities in organizing the training camp?
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm actually the academic director, so there are plenty of us involved in this camp. My main responsibility of this camp is to deal with academic affairs, which includes basically inviting the teams, coordinating with the teams, basically inviting the instructors, designing the lectures, the tests, mock tests, everything that's...
Okay, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's an enormous amount of work, but I really like it, so I'm really happy to be here. So.
Okay. So how could you describe the mission of BIMSA in mathematics and in science in general?
Actually, BIMSA now, it's a newly formed institute. Well, it belongs to Tsinghua, so officially it's supported by Tsinghua University and Chinese Academy of Sciences. And actually, BIMSA wants to bring all the cutting-edge technology all together, which includes this mathematics, physics, information sciences, and so on.
That's amazing. And what motivated the creation of this International Mathematics Summer Camp? What were your initial goals?
All right, so I will tell you, I'll go back a bit with some history to this. I remember I had this conversation with Professor Yao, and he was asking me what did I do in the U.S., and I told him I was involved with training kids for math Olympiads, especially at summer camps. And then he told me, like, we should do one like this here in China, but we should make it more international. And then he told me maybe you should come up with a plan, design everything, and then we can just go through. And he told me money is not the problem. And then when I was thinking about it, first I wanted to invite only 10 teams. But then after we talked, and she told me, we think we can expand, maybe invite 30, 40 teams. And then at some point in our discussions, I was telling him that maybe we should invite also the African countries. And he thought this was a wonderful idea. So we invited 5 African countries, and we stick to that idea every year.
So you invite the 30 best countries in the world at IMO? Yeah, 5 African.
Yes, plus 5 African countries.
So why particularly African countries?
First of all, there is no secret at this point that China likes Africa a lot. They invest a lot in Africa. And also we're thinking in Africa because there's a growing interest in African countries for mathematical Olympiads, in particular IMO. And we decided that maybe we should have a training ground for them to become better and better. And who knows, maybe they'll get many more medals in the years to come.
So in your opinion, what is the most important added value that each participation country can earn from this type of event?
So I think, bringing people together from every corner of the world, I think that's the most important thing. You bring people from different backgrounds and you bring them together, and you do this from a very early age. For example, you have here like students ranging from, 14 to 18 years old. And I don't know, I kind of like this kind of diverse environment. When you see them together, stay together, work together, play together, and having different activities.
All right. So why do you think it is crucial for countries, especially African countries, to invest more in mathematical events and for science events in general?
I think, as far as I'm concerned, investing in science, in particular mathematics, is a problem of national security for every country in the world. In other words, with this kind of investment, you cannot lose. even if you don't get immediate results, at some point in years, you will get results. And if you look at all these countries that have invested in basic sciences like mathematics, computer science and so on, now they create innovation. And you will see a primary example here in China, when they invested over the last 40 years, they invested massively in science and education, in particular mathematics.
Okay. So what is your long-term vision for this event?
My long-term vision for this event is to create this environment where people come together and they have this training ground to become better at mathematical competition. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that maybe this could be like their first opportunity in becoming researchers, not necessarily in mathematics, but maybe in other sciences as well. So this will be like their very first step in achieving that goal.
So, in your opinion, what is the main problem faced by African countries in developing high-level mathematics?
I think it's the infrastructure. So, I have observed a little bit. As far as I observe, I think having the lack of infrastructure, when you actually have everything set up in place, it's very hard to compensate with that. It's, you can have talents are everywhere, but if you don't have the infrastructure to set up and to develop, it's very, very hard to get results, extremely hard. And that's what we're trying to compensate with here at this camp. So that's why we want to bring together, people from different countries who don't have so many opportunities, and to train and, to get results at mathematical competitions.
Okay. So what advice would you give to someone who is watching this interview and would like to get involved in mathematics?
Well, it's very hard for me to answer this question, but, I would advise somebody to do whatever they like to do. For example, if they like mathematics, I would advise them to do mathematics too, but for the sake of mathematics primarily, and then getting into competitions.
So thank you for this interview. I hope this will be helpful to develop mathematics in Africa. So thank you. See you later.
Okay. Thank you very much.